Children of the Corn is incredibly frightening because it plays on something so simple, and that is you can't control children.
I couldn't see the Children of the Corn because it was too scary for me. I mean, just the idea of kids with glowing eyes, I can't deal with.
Stephen King has tapped into something, boy. I mean, he's kind of the it guy for horror, isn't he? When you think horror, you think Stephen King.
Children of the Corn is one of those movies that even when I see today, it still creeps me out. I mean, that kid, when he steps on screen with his hat on, looking through the window, Isaac is such a presence. He's one of those characters that doesn't have to do anything or say anything, but just looking at him freaks you out.
Malachi! He wants you too.
Malachi, for a little kid, he kicks a lot of ass, you know? And there's that famous scene where he's standing in the middle of town screaming for the adults to come out, and he's screaming, "Outlander, Outlander." You know, he has Linda Hamilton at knife point.
Outlander! We have your woman! She still lives! Outlander, maybe you don't hear so well. Outlander, her blood will spill unless you give yourself up. You won't wait much longer. Night is coming. Night is his time.
This is my first film, and I'm geeked up. If you look at the film, you will see that my fingers are like so deep into her cheek when I have her face. It's like, you know, halfway, my finger's halfway into her cheek. Of course, the next day, you know, she's got bruises.
Outlander! Come on! Come on! Come on, Outlander!
That line, Outlander, has become one of those famous lines in pop culture. I've had it screamed at me many times, somebody driving down the street or, or in a mall. I think that movie was very much teenage angst. I think it was very much a teenage fantasy of what if we could get rid of all of the adults and run our own town.
The idea that kids in a group could overtake this town, slaughter everybody, and set up their own society, it's a really terrifying concept.
Oldboy's great. Oldboy is one of the 10 best movies of the past 10 years.
Oldboy is one of the coolest sort of revenge thrillers I've seen in a long time. The Koreans are just making films that are just so confronting.
Oldboy is scary because you just don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, anything could happen in that movie.
Oldboy is a story about a man who is kidnapped and placed in a room for 15 years with no explanation of why he was being put there.
And when he gets out, he goes on this journey of trying to figure out who kidnapped him and why. Oldboy was directed by Park Chan-wook. The films that he makes are so visually arresting, but they are also unclassifiable. There's nothing like them.
There's something so dark you think, well, he's not going to go there, and it gets worse and worse.
내 15년을 고스란히 갚아주겠다. 한 개씩 뽑힐 때마다 1년씩 남는 거야.
Let me just say that's a very hard scene for me to watch. Not many people realizes this, but I am very squeamish.
He learns of the coup de grace in his torture, and that is the realization that since being released, he's been sort of manipulated into sleeping with the daughter he never knew. And he realizes that they've now been having this incestuous affair, unbeknownst to both of them.
Our main villain is planning to tell the daughter everything, and the main character is saying, I'll cut off my tongue, I'll do anything to show you how sorry I am for what happens.
It's a devastating scene. And the reason it works is because it means something. He believes that he's going to earn someone's forgiveness. So it's not even just the grossness of it, it's the underlying emotion is where I think the horror really comes from.
The twist, when it happens, you're so repulsed. You're so sickened, but so fascinated. I mean, Oldboy is one of those movies where after I saw it, I couldn't speak.